Hey guys, Amazing Ampharos here, and I'm jumping into the Final Fantasy II portion of the deck. Now, the Final Fantasy II bosses are going to prove a bit more of an obstacle to me than the Final Fantasy I bosses. It's not just because Final Fantasy II is a harder game, even when you beat yourself up outside of town, which will forever be hilarious to me that was the best way to play Final Fantasy II. But it's because these bosses have generally more complex patterns, and the ones that are gimmicks are much stronger gimmicks. To be clear, 2 of the 4 bosses here counterattack constantly, and it requires some clever strategies to deal with them. The other 2 bosses don't really counterattack, but they use a wide diversity of moves, so you can't just completely negate them with a smartly selected lunar phase and equipment set. But goal 1 was just taking up that crystal helm, which I don't need immediately, but will help me in the bosses on the swarm. And you're probably not going to recognize any of these bosses because Final Fantasy II bosses weren't too memorable. All these guys are guys that you fought in the final dungeon guarding treasure chest, which really had to be the bosses they chose because all the other bosses in that game later became regular enemies. And the strategy here is that Astaroth does basically whatever she wants. And you just have to try to kill her as quickly as you can while keeping your status relatively good. She uses August spells fairly freely that hit really hard. Sometimes she'll cast Flare, which is just an instant character death. There's nothing I can do about it. She uses Embrace, which will petrify any character other than Edge. Edge, thankfully, still has the ribbon equipped. And she uses a physical attack that not only hits pretty hard, but heals her when she uses it. So I'm going to try to use my defensive stuff to keep Blink up on the right characters, keep my health up, and if I get a chance, I'm going to stack some shells. But by and large, I just want to kill them. Like, you can see right there, that was in no way survivable for Kane. Kane is my bulkiest character by far. The good news is, though, even though she has a lot of ways to mess with me, she's just not fast enough or damaging enough with most of her moves to really pose a serious threat of actually winning this fight. So if I just hammer away and keep healed up with Hasted Forum, I'll win this eventually, though as you've probably seen, she has a truckload of health. And yeah, Death is one of the many things she can do, but thankfully in this game, Death has a horrendous accuracy, so it's pretty much a free turn if any enemy decides to use it. By far the nastiest thing this boss could do to me is using Grace on Forum, which would not only knock Forum out of the fight for a while, which would make things really tough, but it would also clear all of Forum's buffs. And Forum needs both haste and blink up, so it takes a while to get Forum back into action. And just after I talked about how Death doesn't hit, it hits Kane. Kane's really not having a very good time. But again, even though it's really tempting to just stop everything and try to get everyone to good health, just keeping up that offense let me win without ever being able to fall into trouble. And I get a boatload of experience, and Golbez learns Quake, which is a handy spell that I probably won't use very much. He just learns it a little bit too late to find its heyday. because I'm about to do some major equipment changes to deal with the gimmicky bosses coming up ahead. There we go, that should work. But I might want to rearrange my parts. As you can see, I just gave Golbez a physical setup, and I massively rearranged everyone else's equipment. So they're generally more effective. I stacked Edge with physical stuff that prioritizes the attack over his speed. And I put the rapid ring on Rydia, so she'll be able to get out her summons at a higher rate. That actually won't be relevant to this directly upcoming boss, but it'll be handy down the line. And I can very easily wipe it, so we need to get out of here. I don't believe Kate is on that. That should have been a good demonstration that when Edge is not set up to run effectively, these fights can get really nasty. But I'll be fine, because here we are, against what is probably the most dangerous boss on the floor, but it doesn't get easier with time. Basically, I just need some luck with this fight. Because I need to get the Spider Silk to stick, and if he chooses to counter with Meteor, that's bad. That's going to kill just about everything. The good news is that he only single target physical on his own, so I can bring everyone back with Phoenix down. If I didn't put slow on him, though, I would have had no chance at all of dealing with this boss. Well, that was unfortunate. The thing about this boss is he counterattacks a lot. But if you don't attack him, he'll use Crush, which instantly kills characters. Now I should have the fight under control, so I should be okay. The main thing is you just need to keep attacking. Early on, you want Golbez to use taunts, so the attacks get directed to Golbez. As the fight drags on, though, you'll eventually transition away from that, so Golbez can get in on the attack. And he doesn't counterattack every time, but he counterattacks an awful lot. It's actually bad if he goes too long without counterattacking, since he might use Crush. That, however, was a pretty good outcome with him targeting Edge with that. And now that I've blinked up on everyone, I can start getting really aggressive. And he'll counter all magic with Meteor. He won't always do it. He will sometimes. So I need to not use Meteor. Or I need to not use magic, so Rydia really has no purpose in this fight. Other than, of course, throwing items whenever it's convenient for me. And if I get some extra turns, I'm actually going to start berserking characters, but that can be tricky to find the time to do. because I really need to keep these blinks up, or else characters are going to drop really fast. But again, now that I have the fight under control, it's pretty much won, but it should be pretty easy to see how this fight could be lost if this boss were a little less cooperative. And this is a free turn for Berserk, so let's get it to Kane. Because Kane hits really hard with under It's actually a big relief for me every time I get a Berserk off, because that just reduces the number of inputs I have to make, and that was a terrible mistake. At least it wasn't a completely wasted turn, because Edge was down one of his blinks. And I know the strategy is really slow. I'm not really doing damage very quickly because this boss has a ton of physical defense. But there's just no sane way to do this and actually face between Meteor counters. So I'm just going to go with this strategy and be happy with it. And that should power up my offense even more. Though the boss is probably pretty close to dead by this point. There we go. Iron Giant down. That was a painful experience for the party. And I certainly don't remember that guy giving me this much trouble in Final Fantasy X. But it's well worth it, because that Giganax is actually an incredible piece of equipment that makes Golbez actually a really legitimate physical character. Because 150 physical attack is nothing to joke about. Another one of our classic nasty encounters. I'm actually going to make life just a little bit easier on myself and make that equipment substitution. Against bosses that don't counter, the Rising Sun is worth more damage than the Murasame anyway, because for whatever damage you lose from the Rising Sun's lower strength, you gain right back with how many more turns Edge gets. And now I need to double tent to roll the Lunar Phase over to Waxing Moon again. The one that powers up white magic and powers down black magic. Because the next boss I fight uses an awful lot of black magic, and if you mitigate that, he's really not dangerous at all. Everyone but radio resists every element. That should be fine. really bad. Like, really, really bad. But let's see how this goes. Even though I had the worst possible start, I have gotten slow down, and I'm now in control of both of my mages and Kane. Well, now I have Edge back. And I'm just going to remedy, just so I don't have to worry about this confusion. Now that I've controlled my party again, let's see if we can kill this guy. He uses Confuse so rarely too, so that's really surprising to me that he did that. But the basic theory behind fighting him is that 3 high-power physical characters plus Leviathan is really more than he can easily deal with. And this lunar phase weakens the black magic that's the core of his offense, so he shouldn't be too dangerous. Unless he really enjoys confusing your party, in which case there's not an awful lot you can do about it. The good news is that he doesn't really have a lot of health, so even at this point, he's probably getting pretty close to dropping. Big. I know I have some diet rations in here somewhere. I need a high potion radio, she's gonna die with the next spell. You also notice Edge does a ton of damage to his boss for seemingly no reason. Because his boss has a specially programmed weakness to throwing attacks, and the Rising Sun counts as a throwing attack. You could also actually use throw, but that would use up weapons permanently, and I really don't want to do that. And down goes number 3. And I wish I could tell you that that's the end of our challenges here, but number 4 is pretty nasty too. And the Loki's Harp there is Edward's best weapon, but if you're using any party that does not include Edward, it is not exactly an exciting item to obtain. And I need to roll the lunar phase all the way back around to this again. Because the main determining factor in how well this fight's going to go is how little damage I take from Meteor. And of course, Meteor is black magic, so I want to be in the lunar phase that negates it. And I'm going to go back to a more power-based setup with Edge there, because this is the other counterattack enemy. The King Behemoth. Which, as you've probably already noticed, it's really hard. counterattacks literally everything with his super powerful physical. So you need to get him in slow and then start getting blink up on the target. Golbez should definitely use taunt, so you can control the boss much more quickly than you would otherwise. And you also need to start stacking shells, because this boss is a total gimmick. The way he works is that he just does all this counterattacking and physical attacking until he gets really low on health, at which point he will use Meteor. Meteor is not really survivable unless you prepare, so I'm stacking 5x shells. That's shell 3. Shell 4. The whole party now is blink. Shell 5. And now that everyone's buffed up at full health and with max shell, it's time to begin the attack. And the basis of the strategy is that you want Golbez to keep the attacks coming his way, and you want to use the most powerful single target move you can. Golbez is really beefy though, so even if the boss gets through blink, you can do some stuff that will help you out. But I actually want to show this band off, even though it's not really an efficient thing to do, so I'm going to do that. As you can see, it's about as strong as the Edge can. But it costs less MP, so overall it really is the better band. And you want to just attack at this point with Jump and Leviathan, because those are your single most damaging attacks, once you're out of MP for the band. Well, Edge can hit pretty hard on his own. It's just not worth it, because all you're doing is eating through your blitz. Such a patient strategy, of course, this fight ends up taking a very long time. But since the boss does one of the super powerful final attacks, it really is my top priority to make sure I'm going to have as many characters survive as possible. should be getting close. I especially hope that's true because now I'm running pretty low on resources. And there we go. Now this will definitely kill Torum, but everyone else is able to survive thanks to the stacked shell and the really magic defense-oriented equipment I put on Ring. I wish Torum could survive that, but there's just no way you can make that happen. Well, I don't know, maybe it's possible, but it'd be tricky. And experience is never really wasted in this game anyway, so it's okay. And that's all the Final Fantasy II bosses. Now I just have to work my way back to the save point. Those guys were pretty intense, and it only really scales up from here. I have another travel segment coming up, but then I'm going to take on 4 of the bosses from the final dungeon of Final Fantasy III, and those should give us a pretty fun ride. I'll see you then.